Going a little bit into what I do, we know I'm a numerologist. First time I met you, I gave you a birthday reading. What did you think about that? Because you didn't know anything about this before that.
I didn't. You know, I thought it was cool, and everything you said since has been accurate.
What do you want people to remember you for?
Man, a lot of things, man. I want people to remember me for my what I built from nothing to something. All the great music I made with R&B, with hip-hop, the I have with my kids.
See, that's how you can tell about someone right there. And they don't talk about themselves, they start talking about their family. What do you think the purpose of life is?
Purpose of life, I got two of them. One is to get so that's one thing. Another thing is to be a to have a somewhere.
Who do you believe freestyle is the best? Some people say Ludacris, some people say Eminem. In your opinion?
Yeah.
Is anyone second place? That dude?
Yeah.
Welcome to another GG33 podcast, brought to you by H Factor, the best water that's gonna honestly change the whole goddamn game. You're with this, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Sets out the pool bath.
All right, man. So let's get started, my man. We're here with London on the tracks, brother.
Yeah.
You're the #1 fucking producer in the fucking world. I mean, am I exaggerating?
I mean, you could say one of them, you know, but there's a lot of greats. Greats don't call themselves greats. Greats help others become great.
This man's a philosopher too, man. Let me ask you this, man. You've worked with some of the top people in the game.
Mm-hmm.
What makes someone a superstar when it comes down to R&B, rapping? What makes someone, is it work ethic? Is it talent? What makes someone the best of the best?
Consistency, man, and just putting in the hours, putting in the work. You gotta put in the work, man, and you gotta outwork the people that you're working with. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, if somebody's working with me, then I need to see them outwork me. The greats just put in a lot of hours.
So there's no one out there who's just flat out talent, and they made.
I mean, I feel like this is just me, man. There's a lot of talented people out there, man. But what outside the talent is the hustle.
Who do you look up to? If you have any role models in this game, who do you look up to?
God.
Okay. No human? Is there anyone who came before you, then you're like, damn, man, I want to be someone like him, where I want to incorporate some of his game? Like, for instance, Kobe.
Like when I was younger?
Yeah, like Kobe, you know.
It was Michael Jordan. It was Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, MJ, man. MJ for sure.
MJ, what about in the music game?
In the music business, probably. Back when I was younger, and even now, maybe Dr. Dre. Yeah.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Have you worked with him?
Yeah, I have worked with Dr. Dre.
What sets him apart from everyone else in your mind? His ability to spot talent.
I feel like he just stayed him. You know what I'm saying? The person that I knew from when I was 9, 8 years old, he's the same person.
You've known him that long?
No, I'm saying like looking up to him.
Okay.
Yeah, looking up to him, like me meeting him, is like, oh, this is the same guy I seen from straight out of Compton. It's the same guy I seen, you know, at the concert saying "fuck the police" and all that shit. Like he's the same. He has that same attitude. He hasn't
changed at all.
Nah, he hasn't changed.
Anyone else you think he's up at that level?
I feel like just in like as far as the person I look up to, musically, no.
No.
Maybe a drummer boy is one guy that I looked up to musically. As far as business, as far as like the legacy, who inspires me to be like them, as far as my legacy, it would be Dr. Dre.
Before we jump off the music, because I want to know more about you as a person, because you're not just music,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what would you say are your role models in life, besides, you know, the music part? Who have you looked up to besides God, obviously, in life?
Shit, man.
Because, you know, like people are watching this, and a lot of them are looking up to you, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, trying to think, like, how do I get to this level?
Right.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Most of you guys ain't going to make it. But the fact is, if you work your ass off, and that's exactly what the fuck you did, you're never here, brother.
Yeah, man.
You're always on the go. You're always working. You're always moving.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, people love people that help other people be, you know, teach them things. You know, I feel like you're more powerful when you help others become great and give them, you know, the structure on how, or be the leader to show them how to lead. You know what I'm saying? People that they really pay attention to that. Like when I go back to home and I show my younger cousins how to do things, that just makes me more powerful. So I always try to teach. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're here in beautiful sunny Isles. I mean, this has got to be the best view I've seen in the goddamn city, bro. This is something else. But where'd you come from? I mean, I didn't come from here. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, man. The only thing that is from Cleveland, Ohio is LeBron and a few other things. Where'd you come from?
I come from Atlanta, west side of Atlanta, Zone 1.
And how long did you live there, man? until you moved
Pretty
here?
much, yeah.
Is that where you got your big break in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us what's the difference between living life in Atlanta and living here?
Man,
People here are
Atlanta, nah, it ain't even that. It's just because I don't even surround myself by those type of, I keep people that I feel like that I allow in my space are the people that I fuck with. I don't just.
Well, I appreciate you letting me up here, my man.
Yeah, of course. So Atlanta, man, it was, it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? But the beautiful part about the struggle was the hustle. You know what I'm saying? I hustled. I put in a lot of work, man. The days I grew up with, rich kids and money savages, we all came up, we all made music together and just put in a lot of work nights and nights and nights and nights. And I feel like, over time, people just got to see my hustle and my talent all at one time. And
So tell us how you got started in the game.
as far as a producer,
Yes.
um,
The very, very beginning, man. Because most of these people are listening, they need to know how to, start crawling.
So-
Not everyone can run right away.
Right.
Some people need to learn how to crawl.
you gotta crawl. So yeah, with me, man, I've always been a musician. So I knew I was gonna do something in the music business from a young age, bro.
How young?
Maybe 8, 9.
Already
years old.
at that age, you
And
knew.
I already knew. I already knew I was gonna be in the music business. And then my mom, she always wanted to do the music stuff too. And
She
was
encouraged you?
yeah, man. And by the time I turned like 15, 16, I used to be like a rapper
Okay.
in my time back in high school. So I couldn't afford beats. I couldn't ask people
Okay,
for beats
okay.
and pay them that, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do?
Make my own.
I'm gonna make my own shit. So I learned how to use Fruity Loops. My first doll was Cakewalk. I don't think people even know about it.
What is that? Explain it.
It's a doll that you use to make beats.
Okay.
Like Fruity Loops, Logic, Ableton, and some people use MPCs and stuff like that. But I used Cakewalk, and that showed me how to like get in the rhythm of learning how to, boom bap, clap, play some keys and shit like that. And then I stepped my shit up to Fruity Loops, and then that's when I started like getting real good at making.
How long did that process come from you starting to you becoming who you are?
Oh no, it took a long time for me to.
Because this is why I want to get out. People have to put in the damn work.
Yeah.
I have talked to billionaires. There's about 3,000 billionaires on the planet. I probably talked to about 3% of them. And every single one of them put in work. Maybe there is one woman who got the money from a divorce, but every single person put in work.
Yeah, see me like before I got like who I was, I gave away 1,000 beats for free.
Who'd you give beats away to?
Man, people I grew up in the city of Atlanta, just a lot of people. There was Young Thug was one of them.
And of all the people you gave those beats out and you looked out for, is there any people who paid you back in kindness or, try to help you out? Every single one, all of the 1,000.
Yeah, they all helped in some way.
Okay.
All of them helped in some way because they supported me. They supported me by, even believing in what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at that.
Yeah, bro.
Every last one of them.
I'm a numerologist, and 20 years ago, people used to be like, yo, you're a fraud, you're this. And I still get some of that now. But, the people who believed in me 20 years ago, they're the ones who are with me right now.
Exactly.
Every single one of the people who were with me 20 years ago, and by the way, that's a small crowd, by the way, are with me right now because loyalty means something. If people say they have faith, to me, some of having faith is having loyalty.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I understand. Yes.
Going a little bit into what I do, we know I'm a numerologist, and first time I met you, I gave you a birthday reading. What did you think about that? Because you didn't know anything about this before that.
I didn't. I thought it was cool, and I felt like everything you said since has been accurate.
And first time I met you, I think it was like January of this year or something like that.
Yeah, man.
Somewhere around, let's not say who.
It was
met us.
probably like top at the end of December, top of
Yeah,
January.
something like that.
And
Right.
ever since you did it, it's like, yeah, I had the #1 record, rap record, Red Rum, and then a whole bunch of stuff, that's going on right now. And I feel like it's just getting started.
And my man over here is born, you mind if I give out your birthday?
It's all over the net, my brother.
Hey, I've just put it out there. He's born 3/27/1991. He's a 5 Lifepath in numerology. And what are the 5s in life? They're the entertainers. They're the entertainers. Is that a perfect way to describe you, my friend? An entertainer. Yeah. Let's not forget, entertainer starts with E. E is the 5th letter. So the numerology fits to a T with him. Now, he's also born in the year of the goat. Brother, you kill people with kindness, don't you?
All the time. I don't even talk much.
When it comes down to people who are watching this right now and they want to get ahead, what advice would you give them? You've been through all the struggle, man. There's not many people who made it from here and are all the way at the top. And we're literally at the top, bro.
Yeah.
You know, where you can't get any higher.
And you know how it is.
you get any higher than this, you will be talking to God.
Yeah, penthouse vibe.
Yeah, penthouse spot. What would you tell some young guy who's 8, maybe 15 years old? Well, look at this. The helicopter's beneath us. The helicopter's beneath us. That's how high up we are. Okay? What would you tell kids? What would you say to someone who's looking at you and be like, man, I'm poor. No one's out here helping me out. What would you tell those people?
Like I say, man, when shit don't happen overnight, just remember it takes 24 hours to build a Camry, Toyota, and it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce. Don't let that go off your head.
When it comes down to your game, the beat game and stuff like that, what do you actually charge people for beats?
I don't charge nobody for beats.
You don't charge anyone for beats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like you have a good beat. What's the process? Tell me, like you have a good beat. You know this is going to be a hit. What's the process?
I have a good beat. Now, I don't even make beats. I make moments. First of all, let's clear that up.
Okay.
I make moments. So when you're in the studio with me, it's a process. It's stuff that comes from the fingers. It's touches. It ain't just beats. I don't just make beats and send them out. You come in the studio, it's a whole thing. I'm a composer. You know what I'm saying?
Beethoven, Mozart.
Nah, London.
London? I mean, I'm talking about the best of the best.
And I respect them, and I love everything they did for us. But I'm London.
You're London.
Yes. So when they refer me, they look at me, they say London on the track. That's what we remember him as, London Holmes.
Still want to be known with the great names, though, right?
Yeah. Of course, they put me there, you know, greats. Like I said, greats don't call themselves greats. If y'all want to call me that, y'all can call me that. I'm cool. I love it. But, you know, when you see me and
Michael Jordan called himself great.
He called himself great? Well, I'm not Michael Jordan.
Kobe did too.
Well, that's them.
I see.
I let the people. I let the people speak for me.
You're a very humble man. Where'd that come from? Because most people in your position, they ain't humble at all, brother. Does God keep you humble?
I think he did. He's definitely the reason. He definitely kept me humble. And just life in general, you know, kept me humble. You know, just seeing a lot of my loved ones not make it this far. You know what I'm saying? That kept me humble. And just being able to just live life, man, at this age, you know?
You're a young guy.
No, I'm saying, I'm just saying in general, a lot of people in my time, in my struggle, didn't make it past 18.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Atlanta, right?
I'm just humble. Yeah. I'm just humble to even be here. I'm just thanking God that I'm here, you know?
What do you want people to remember you for?
Man, a lot of things, man. I want people to remember me for my legacy, just what I built from nothing to something. All the great music I made with R&B, with hip hop, the legacy I have with my kids.
See, that's how you can tell about someone right there. And they don't talk about themselves, they start talking about their family.
My family, my mother, the whole print.
How important is family to you?
It's very important. I ain't nothing without my family.
That's exactly what I tell, you know, I've talked to a lot of billionaires in my life, and, you know, some of them have 10, 20 billion, 3 ex-wives, all their kids hate them and stuff like that. That doesn't seem like success to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a successful life. I understand everyone wants that bag, man. Everyone wants that bag, but you can't just be all material.
Right.
You can't do that, because if you do, let me tell you something, you failed. This might be difficult for some of you guys to understand, but if you have 10, 20 billion, and you have kids who hate you, and you have basically 3 ex-wives, I think that's a failed reincarnation, brother.
Yeah.
No matter how much money you have. The correct approach, at least in my point of view, is to balance the spiritual and the material. Tell us something about your spirituality. How do you practice it?
I pray all the time.
And what is your religion?
Muslim.
Muslim? Okay, so you pray to Allah. Were you ever a Christian?
Yes.
And you converted?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Do you have people you mentor right now?
A lot of people.
And have people mentored you?
Yes.
What have you learned from the people who have mentored you that you're passing down to the people you're mentoring?
I used to talk to my mentors and be like, yo, man, how did you be able to get all these businesses? And because I used to try to move fast when I first got started to being a billionaire.
Okay.
And I used to ask my billionaire mentors, yo, how did you get all these different businesses set up and stuff? That's what I'm trying to do. Like, you know, yeah, I got hit songs and shit like that, but all of my mentors they did the same thing I've done, like made hits. And you know what they told me? They said, just keep making hits. Everything's gonna come to you. Just like this podcast right here, it just came to me because I made hits. I didn't make no hits when it came to me. So that's just an example of the mentorship. So I tell people down there, like, they feel like they're not on my level, but I treat everybody equal. But the people that feel like that, I'm telling them like, yo, just keep hustling and keep making good music. Everything's gonna come to you, just like women. You know.
Well, you know, that's a difficult subject, especially here in America.
You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, I married a Muslim woman.
Okay, dope.
You know,
God bless you, brother.
you know, when it comes down to women, the ones in this country are a little bit different than the one in here. You agree on that?
Yeah, 100%.
From what you learn from your mentors, what do you look for when you want to mentor someone? Because, you know, I mentor people too.
Yeah.
And I don't accept everyone.
Yeah.
I look for certain qualities, like if I think someone's going to be loyal in the future. That's
Right.
like one of the qualities I look for. When you decide who you're going to mentor, what are you looking for?
I want to teach them everything that I did. Everything I did wrong, I want to show them right. So everything that I went through that was like, you know, you got to go through some type of experience to learn how to do it the next go around. So anything that I went through, I try to mentor anybody that I'm mentoring. I try to let them know early, like, this is how you do it. Just like my kids, same thing. Just
Can you give us some examples?
So, like in the beginning, I didn't own my master's. So it's because I didn't know the business. I didn't know how to put out music. I didn't know certain things in the music industry that I picked up over the years that now I have 2 signed artists to me that now I can pretty much
Teach them the game.
teach them the game, and we don't have to sign any deal just yet. We can work around the hoops. Me back then, I was just so eager to get out my struggle out of the hood and make it for my mom and my family that I was just signing shit and getting some up. Didn't know the business. You know, now that I know the
So
business,
someone will come up to you, yo, here's 50
not
racks.
just anybody.
saying it.
I ain't saying that. It definitely had to be someone that, you know, I trust in the long run and built a relationship with.
What are the main qualities you look for someone that you decide, yo, I'm going to take this dude under my wing?
Hustle. Same thing I did.
Hustle,
Yeah.
loyalty,
I have
respect.
loyalty, character, and hustle.
Character. Explain what that means to you.
Man, character is everything, man. I want to be able to build with someone that I'm going to build with 20 years from now. If I can't see that in the first day or 30 minutes or first conversation I have with you, then it's dead. Character is very important to me. That's the first thing. Second thing is talent.
Character first, talent 2nd. Hustle third.
Yeah, because a lot of talented people can have some fucked up attitudes, and I ain't fucking with it.
As a Muslim and man of faith, there's probably some things that you just ain't going there.
Yeah.
Have you turned down a lot of money because you're like, yo, I'm not doing this stuff?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Let's talk about some of the people you've worked with in the past. Tell us what you think of all the big names and maybe even some up and coming stars that you work with. What have you seen in certain people being like, damn, that dude's got it? Not just fame, not just money, but you know, you just see someone, he's like a lyrical genius or a musical genius.
Yeah. Young Thug, man. It's still getting no greater than him for me. We used to challenge each other, like, with music. Like, if you listen to a lot of the old stuff we did back in the day, it was like Lifestyle, All About the Money, Pass Me the Hookah. All those songs are sonically 3 different sounds. They don't sound nothing alike. So I used to just challenge myself and make different type of beats and music and give it to him, and he'll do it. And he'll just challenge us like, this is our sound. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep doing different shit. And that's what's great about him. Lyrically, he just was going crazy. I always trusted him, and because I knew it was coming from a real place. It was authentic. It was pure.
How'd you know that?
Because I kind of grew up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we known each other for a long time before we popped, because we was in the same circle.
So you guys are coming up with the same struggle.
Yeah,
Same streets,
struggle.
no same people.
Same everything, like same struggle for sure. Like, it was in the same circle, like a people. And I used to always see him like at Club Crucial and just being on the West, and he from Cleveland, but it's like,
Oh, that's my hometown.
yeah, so it's like, no, not Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, okay, you got me for a
Nah,
second.
hell nah.
Cleveland what?
Cleveland Ave.
Okay.
So, you know, we all just was all in that same circle.
When people are watching this, they would basically say, yo, Gary, we need a hardball question. So let me ask you this, man. A lot of people in Hollywood, they say there's a lot of Satanism going on there. They say there's a lot of evil people doing evil things. I don't have to go into details.
Yeah.
Have you witnessed some of that without naming any names or anything? You're around people who are considered A-listers and above. Have you seen anything satanic in Hollywood or the rap game or anything of that nature? You know, one of my favorite rappers back in the day was Pimp C.
Yeah.
He talked a lot. He talked a lot about a lot of people. He's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've seen that you're like, yo, this is some suspect shit?
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough, man. That reaction right there tells you everything you need to know.
A lot of suspect ass niggas for sure.
Do you think it's that who are suspect or the people who are writing the checks?
Shit, gotta be both of them.
It's a smart man. He's doing politically correct answers, but he's still giving you the sauce, man. I like that in you. What do you want people, when they see you and they listen to your music and, you know, they're out there jamming to you, how do you want to inspire them besides, you know, I'm just listening to these beats? Is there any way you want to inspire people?
Yeah, just by being creative, being different. I always want to do the next sound. I always want to be something that people look at and hear and they're like, oh, I never heard this before. This is weird.
Who do you think's the best at that right now in the game? Just coming up with a whole new lyrics, a whole new genre. Who's the best in the game at that?
Producer, or are you just saying?
Anyone.
It's a lot of talented people, man.
Give me top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5.
That's just unique?
Yes. Not the guys who sold platinum like Jay-Z and they're all over the place. Just the top 5 talent in your mind.
I mean, you know, Kanye gonna always be one of the top 5 or maybe even top 3 creative marketing geniuses, man.
Kanye West, born 6'8", 1977, 11 Lifepath, born in the year of the snake. And if he's ever going to be a billionaire again, he's going to have to do it next year in the snake year.
He's always been, you know, ahead. He always to do the new stuff. You know, he's a trendsetter, and that's one thing I like about him. So he's always created something out the box and always kept me inspired to be out the box too as well.
He's one of your mentors?
Yes.
Okay. For someone to be a mentor of yours doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they do.
Right.
Okay. Besides Kanye, give me some other names, because honestly, everyone probably says Kanye's, you know, top 3, top 1, or something like that, because, you know, the music he's made is just different.
I just feel like anybody, man, a lot of it just, well, musically, and just creative, like Pharrell, I like Pharrell a lot. He's different. He always has the next sound.
He's different. He's definitely different. That's a good way to describe him.
Yeah, he inspires me with, you know, fashion and even music too, everything, just dressing. Even this bracelet I have on was like inspired by Pharrell, you know.
Pretty nice.
So him, you know, there's not that many that shock me like that. Like I don't, you know.
You've just been around this too long. Nothing's really gonna shock you too much.
Yeah, not too much. Different? Nah, man. I like Kendrick Lamar too.
Kendrick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kendrick.
A lot of people, you know, say he's #1 up there. Like I had a lot of people tell me he's their favorite guy.
Yeah, he's definitely one.
I think Mark Cuban even said that.
Yes. Young Thug is different too, man. I gotta put him in every list.
Okay, let's make someone's day, brother. Of the young people that no one's ever heard of coming up right now, not someone you grew up with that already made it. Give us 2 names that people are gonna look at this video in about 5 years and be like, damn, that boy actually fucking called it.
Yeah. It's tough right now. Tough.
I gotta give you so tough questions.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, cause I'm gonna tell you who really inspired me right now. Melodically, SZA, she's gonna be one of the greats. I know she's already up there, but like she's gonna be one of the greats 10 years from now.
10 years from now?
Yes, even 20 years from now.
You think she got it like that?
I think she's gonna be one of those ones that go in the books, if not already. It's tough.
Okay, you gave us one. That's enough.
Yeah.
Now, I came from the generation of Tupac, Biggie, you know, Jay-Z was coming up.
I know about them.
Where would you rate those guys in history? Because I still to this day have never heard a better rap song than Juicy. And you know, maybe I'm just a white dude who doesn't know any better, but that to me is the best rap song ever made. To me. And you know, opinions can't be wrong because that's all it is opinions. But where do you rate those guys like Biggie, like Tupac, you know, in the big genre? And if they were still alive, do you think they'd be at Jay-Z's level or above?
Honestly, I don't know what level they'll be at if they were still alive, because I was 5, 6 years old at that time, maybe. But just knowing the history and being able to like love their music too, because I do love Tupac's music and definitely grew up on listening to his music. I wouldn't rank them. I would just put them all next to each other in the Hall of Fame.
All in the Hall of Fame?
It wouldn't be ranked. They'll just be all in the same hallway.
Who do you believe freestyle is the best? Some people say Ludacris, some people say Eminem. In your opinion?
Cassidy.
Cassidy?
Yeah.
Is anyone second place, or is this like when Jordan was the NBA? Jordan's here and everyone else is down here.
Cassidy.
Cassidy's that dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
Philly rapper. That's how to Meek Mill. I fuck with Meek.
Meek?
Yeah, I fuck with Meek Mill.
Where do you rate him?
He had one of my favorite albums of all time.
When you see some of these rappers get so big and all of a sudden they get legal issues, because I never heard of you have any problems. You stay clean, there's no issues with you.
Yeah.
But some of these other people, they can have trouble with the men. Why do you think that you've been able to stay so clean and other people are just like, getting front page news all the time, and it's not for good stuff?
I'm private.
You're private? Yeah. You don't let anyone get close, do you?
I'm so private that if somebody told you my business, I know who told you.
That right there tells you a lot. So basically, no matter who you are, your advice, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, keep your circle very, very small.
Yeah.
You talk about politics?
Not really.
Not really. It is election season.
I'm getting money. You keep all the politics.
You're like Jordan. Republicans buy shoes too, right?
Exactly.
When you're gone, what do you think the rap game is going to be like? What do you think this thing's going to evolve to? Airbnb and all this in about 50 years, because I've seen such a change from what was going on in the 60s to what is going on now in every music genre. How do you think this music thing's going to change, or do you think it's just going to rewind back to what it used to and just be the natural cycle?
I mean, I think history always repeats itself. It's like hip hop is a culture of people that talk about what they've been through, you know what I'm saying, where they come from, and they speak things that like their struggles, what they've been through in life. And as long as it's like, poverty and people that come from nothing, come from the struggle want to be able to talk about it, it's always going to be some type of drama involved, or
that's never going to change.
Or it's going to be a beef battle, or somebody going to come at somebody. So I feel like hip hop is just, it's going to...
I've never heard anyone coming at you.
I mean, I'm not a rapper.
Well, you're still up there. I mean, you're very well known. I mean, you got about 6 million on IG.
People come at me, they just come silently. They don't say anything. They don't put the address on it, but they come.
What would you say to people who are just targets all the time? Because I'm the #1 numerologist in the world. If anyone talks about numerology, it's Garry the numbers guy, or GG33. I had to plug that for a second. I know. And people come at me. What would you say to people who are up and coming your business? And people are just coming at him all the time. And obviously everyone's gonna, if you don't have haters, you're not actually doing anything right. But, some people react differently to haters. I had some people tell me, yo, pay no attention to these people, just do your thing. I have other people who say, yo, find out these people's addresses and get to work. What school of thought are you?
I mean, first of all, people ain't coming at me disrespectfully, unless it's like baby mamas or some shit. That's the only thing. But yeah, it might be the only thing. But me, I don't go back and forth with women, period. So if they do come at me, they just come at, they just try and bang them keys. And what I mean by that, they trying to, come at me on the competition level with music, So that's the only thing you can come at me about.
Now, let me ask you a question as a very successful, rich black man. How do you deal with women? I mean, you have kids now, it's a little different, but you have some people out there who are successful, and there's a lot of women who are looking for that bag. I mean, right now, there's more women in the United States of America who own homes than men, and they got that stuff through divorce. So what would you say to a guy who's younger than you or around your same age? He's got some spotlight, got some, a little bit of money, and these women are coming at him left and right. What advice would you give people like that? Because, you're one of those few people who are actually qualified to give advice on something like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just they stay married to the money.
Say that again, brother. Say that again.
Hey, man, stay married to the money, man.
I'm making that into a shirt, bro.
The girl gonna come. The girl gonna come when it's time. But until it's time, stay married to the money.
So hustle and don't worry about the women, because once you have that bag, it's all going to take care of itself.
Gonna take care of itself. And you're going to know who's real, who's pure, who wants you for the money, who wants you for whatever it is. Just know in the back of your mind, you got to get to the money. And you got to make sure, you're taking care of your responsibilities, whatever it is in life.
What other interests do you have besides making music and, obviously spending time with your kids and stuff like that? What other interests do you have? Are you into history? I know you're a big gamer.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me about that.
Man, I'm definitely a gamer, man. I play 2K all the time. Yeah.
What team you run with?
I don't run with no team. I play in my career. It's like my own guy, my own creative player. Yeah, so, and I be beating a lot of people on 2K, man, and people know.
People know?
Yeah, they know. I'm probably one of the best shooters on 2K.
Okay.
And I can claim that.
How does someone get to be, there's tens of millions people playing games.
Yeah.
Not too many people making money off the games.
Yeah.
How does someone get in the position where they can turn playing video games, you know, something usually mom and dad are yelling you at, so, yo, you can make bread with this. How do you get in that position? You got to be a somebody, obviously.
I mean, it's lots of ways, like Twitch, and they got Kick. They got a lot of things that you can stream on.
Which one do you use?
I use Twitch, but I make money in lots of ways, man.
Don't give away all the sauce. Just give people a little flavor.
It's cool to get a sauce. I ain't tripping. It's just, you know, just hustling. Like the same thing with music, man. Hustling in 2K, man, and just playing in the leagues. Maybe sign up a few leagues. They got the WR League. They got SLS League, the HOF League, HOF League. I'm just speaking in 2K. I know a lot of people play different games. Pro-Am League, you know, just find you a dope team. You play with a good 4 or 5 people and just go crazy and show them that you're the best and promote it.
How many hours a day do you play games?
Like 5.
5 hours a day?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been putting in work.
I got a whole suitcase with a PS5 in it.
PS5 in it? You don't leave home without it, huh?
I could travel on the road. I think it's by Pole Leg. I forgot what the brand name, but yeah.
Is that something you recommend people get into? Because, I mean,
I feel like gaming about to take over the world.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like gaming is the next thing.
Is that the only game you play?
No, I play Call of Duty.
Oh, Duty?
Yeah, I play Call of Duty. I play a little bit of Fortnite sometimes, just depends.
What about GTA? Because you know that they're coming to Miami, brother. That next game is going to be all about Miami, Brickell.
I did play GTA, but it just got a little boring. Yeah, so I'm waiting on a new one to come out.
Okay, so, you know, I heard in the new one, they're going to have all these buildings on GTA, man.
Yeah.
I've heard from some people, it's going to be some real stuff.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see my beach.
Listen, brother, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview, my man.
Yes, sir.
I much appreciate it. And just a few more questions before we go. What do you think the purpose of life is? I had to give you a hard one, man.
The purpose of life, then that is because you got to be right on with this answer.
I mean, there's no set answer because none of us, you know, can understand what the prime creator's thinking. I don't call him a wild God. I call him the prime creator.
I got 2 things I'm going to say about that. Purpose of life for me and for everybody, background is different. Everybody came up different. But for my purpose of life and where I came from my culture, from, you know, how I grew up, I got 2 of them. One is to get rich or die trying.
You good with 50?
100%. He's one of the ones I looked up to.
Is he one of your mentors?
No. But
someone you look up to?
Yeah, definitely somebody I looked up to.
One of the most raw, honest people in that game.
Yeah.
He tells people, like, he was going at certain people before everyone else was going at certain people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any names. People can read between the lines. But he was going at people 10 years ago telling people, yo, this guy is a little off. And he turned out to be right.
Yeah.
He was vindicated.
50 definitely helped me come up with my purpose in life, you know, just watching his story. I relate to it, you know what I'm saying? So get rich or die trying is like something that I always put in my motto, in my purpose of life. Do like, okay, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna do things I never done, I'm gonna risk doing things I never done to get things I never had before. So that's one thing. Another thing is to be a legend, man, and to have a statue somewhere. Have a statue in my city, you know.
Like Rocky Balboa.
And I need
ATL.
I want to live. When I die, I need people to still feel like I'm here, just like Tupac and just like B.I.G., Notorious B.I.G. and, you know, Michael Jackson. I need that feeling. So my purpose of life is still being here when I ain't here.
You know, some people have a school of thought that people like Napoleon, people like Caesar, people like Nelson Mandela, these people never die because they're in our thought. Even though their bodies aren't here anymore, their spirits are here because they're always in our thoughts. The 7 billion people or 8 billion people on the planet, they're always thinking about these people. So in essence, they never die.
Right.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Lastly, bro, when I look at, you know, the top guys in the game, like you brought up 50. 50's born in the year of the cat. He made his big track in 2003, hit him up. And that was a GOAT year. Cats and GOATs are good friends. Your boy Kanye, born in the snake year, 1977. He got in and made the blueprint kind of by accident, didn't he? Because Jay-Z had a different producer at that time and something happened, I'm not sure what happened, and Kanye stepped in. You know, what that basically shows you is just like Tom Brady. Same year as Kanye, born 77. He won his first Super Bowl in 2001. Kanye got, you know, the blueprint in 2001. 1977 snake year for both of those, 2001 snake year. So what I'm basically telling people is everyone's going to get that opportunity in life. When someone gives you that fucking ball, don't drop it.
But not.
Brother, I appreciate it.
My bro.
This man right here is going to be one of the biggest guys in the game. I understand he's big now, but trust me, I know what I told him in private. I know exactly what I told you in private, and you know what I told you in private. And it's all happening this year, isn't it?
It is. It's happening right now.
Thank you for the interview, brother.
Yep.
GG33 production, baby.